Good afternoon, Jaguar family. This is Michelle Bowman, the principal, and I've got with me Laura Bates, our media resource specialist today. We're coming to you with a very special message. Now, you know how much we miss all of you and how, what a special opportunity this is to really show good character through our time of distance learning. We are experiencing some new learning and also an opportunity to really learn some of those lessons that Mrs. Bates has been talking to us with her textperts through the years. You know that digital citizenship is so important, but maybe you've just heard that word and didn't really understand what that phrase and didn't really understand what that truly meant. So digital citizenship. Mrs. Bates, will you talk to us just a second about what those two words mean?
Sure. Digital citizenship was defined by Karen Mosinger as the internet, society, and participation. Digital citizens are those who use the internet regularly and effectively. Digital citizenship has to be taught so our students can be using technology responsibly.
All right. And so today you found something brand new, and I want you to share that with us.
Okay, this just in. Our Jaguars absolutely love Brain Pop, and they just released a video about distance learning. It's full of ideas on how to get the most out of digital learning at home. This video will be shared with your students in a lesson in Canvas and Seesaw, but we thought you might appreciate viewing it as well.
All right. So while using technology as our learning platform, our students need to keep in mind that they're still responsible and accountable to the McKinney ISD acceptable use policy. This is probably one of those items that at the start of the year, it's just another piece of paper that gets signed or checked off. Yes, I've done that. But there are some very specific guidelines by which our students are to follow when utilizing technology. And students, I've talked to you about this before. I put on my very serious eyes on announcements, and we talked about the use of Google Docs. You know that Google Docs is an amazing tool, but it can be used for good, and it can also do some damage to relationships and friendships, and it also can be tracked very carefully. Every step and edit that you make along the way can be tracked. So you must think very carefully before you take action on Google Docs, especially if you're utilizing them between your friends, right? Google Docs at this age and this stage, you are provided a Google account through McKinney ISD. And any activity in your Google Doc should be limited to schoolwork. So whatever you're creating should be between you and your teacher or you and the small group that you've been assigned to, right? I understand that you're creative and you are smart and you want to use this tool perhaps to connect with friends. Like Miss Bates and we both share a love of dogs. So we might want to start a Google slide where she adds a picture and I add a picture, but perhaps she does something to really upset me. And I use that document to make a mean remark to her, and it starts to go back and forth. This would not be an example of being a good digital citizen. You need to think very carefully about the choices and words you're making in Google Docs and other forms of technology. So the student acceptable use policy video is shown to students at the beginning of the year, but you also can access it at any time. Ms. Bates, if you would go ahead, will you show us how to get to that acceptable use policy? And we'd love to see just a little bit of that video from Brain Pop.
Okay, so to get to all of the resources that we're talking about today, if you'll just go to Google, and if you type in RJE, our school will show up, and this is what I teach the kids. You look for the picture of our school, and then right underneath it is our website. And then once you're on the RJE website, there is a Learning Commons tab at the top. And if you go to the RJE Learning Commons webpage, then right here is all of the resources that we have to offer you guys on digital citizenship. This right here is the policy, the video policy that the kids watch at the beginning of the year. And then there's all kinds of videos that and resources, posters, lessons, things like that that you can look at. This is the one we wanted to show you guys today a little bit. It's the brand new, this just in Brain Pop distance learning video. And it starts with a question, and I'm just gonna play a little bit of it here for y'all.
Dear Rita and Moby, our school is closed for a while and now we're supposed to learn at home. Got any tips for us? Thanks, Carmen and Jordan. You're certainly not alone. Millions of students are practicing remote or distance learning, staying at home and doing our classwork from there. We're keeping our distance to help stop the spread of the coronavirus. For me, it feels a little like getting used to a new school. Luckily, there are lots of ways to make distance learning work.
Okay, then it goes on to talk about all these different ways that you can make the most out of this time that you have while you're learning at home. Mm-hmm. Also on the RJE Learning Commons website, Digital Citizenship area, is another really awesome video about digital etiquette, and it helps kids understand how they should behave online. And this is also very important and worth watching. I would suggest watching these with your kids and stopping and starting them, and discussing things that are being talked about in the videos. Mm-hmm. And then, like I said, there's lots more videos, posters, things that you can print off and put around where your kids are doing their work, just to help keep all the acceptable use in mind while you're doing this. We're all doing this remote learning.
Mm-hmm. I really appreciate that. I'm glad you showed that to me. I know that we truly do talk about digital citizenship quite a bit at RJE. We have our live morning announcements similar to something like this, where our student-led AV crew, our student AV crew shares our morning announcements through video. And Ms. Bates, your tech experts come on about once a month and share pieces of information through a kid's eyes and through a kid's perspective, so that we are making sure that we are doing all we can to keep kids safe. I think a difficult thing that we have as parents is when kiddos make mistakes and when they make difficult choices. We always want to use that as a learning opportunity and a time to teach for next time, and hope that there isn't a next time. But I think too, it's important that we always consider the age of the child making those choices. We want to make sure that we are teaching everyone, and so that everyone has an opportunity to be successful and make good choices when they have probably some additional freedoms that they haven't had when we were in traditional in-school settings. So my heart is heavy because we have had a very serious situation come through involving digital citizenship. And so, and I'm not trying to punish the whole group because of something that happened between a few children, but I am trying to impress upon you the importance of your digital footprint doesn't go away. Everything is traceable and trackable, and I want us to really have those conversations about being safe when you're online, and really going back to my message about, I know I haven't talked about it in a while. It's been a while since we talked about it, but if you are creating Google Docs to share with friends, you are not using the Google technology as it is intended for school purposes. Okay, if that's something you want to do, that would be something you create your own private account, but your McKinney ISD account is not for having these kinds of groups or clubs or communication between friends. We want you to connect and collaborate. We consider RJE to be a family. And so we just wanted to bring this message to you today, and hope that we don't see something like this again. Okay? Please do your very best. Work hard to be your very best self. Parents, we are going to have a little bit more information posted on our RJE News, but we did want to come on and share this information with you so that we can all be proactive and help one another. So thank you for your time, and we'll see you soon, I hope.
Take care.
All right. Thank you so much.